welcome to CityWide. I'm Ann Rohmer. On today's program, getting ready to set sail for Lenningrad. Early next week, Leslie and Carol Ann Sike plan to sail to Lenningrad aboard this boat, the Aqua Star. It will become the first Canadian sailing yacht ever to go to Lenningrad. The 5,000-mile journey will take about 17 months with several stops along the way. We will talk to the Sykes in a moment and we'll show you around what will be their home for the next little while.
Aboard the Aqua Star, Ann Rohmer.
We are here on the Aqua Star, and we're going to talk to Leslie and Carol Ann Sike about their upcoming voyage to Lenningrad. Now, Leslie, Captain Leslie Sike, would you call this a dream vacation, this 5,000-mile, 17-month trek to Lenningrad?
Yes, it is a dream. We have been dreaming about this for a long time, actually since 1970. In 1970, Carol Ann and I crossed the Atlantic on a Russian liner called the Alexander Pushkin. And every morning on the menu, of the ship's menu, there was a different photographs of Lenningrad.
That was to whet your appetite.
And we made a promise that someday we are going to visit the city, but never
by boat?
dreamt by my own sailboat, no.
Now, you had no experience as a sailor when you did your first journey to
Hudson Bay.
Hudson Bay.
Yes.
What made you think that you, a landlubber, could pull it all together and take a trek like that?
Well, as you said, a landlubber, we used to do expeditions across Africa and Europe on Land Rovers and motorcycles. And we have been in 29 different countries, and we have met Canadians and Americans, and we noticed that Canadians were almost apologetic about being Canadians. So we decided that the Canadian spirit of adventure needs promoting.
And you've got the spirit of adventure on the Aqua Star. Tell me about her. Is she yar, as they say?
Aqua Star was designed by a Canadian designer, Mr. Ted Brewer, and she's all welded steel. She is...
Why steel? That's unusual, is it not?
It is. As of now, steel is really picking up as a material, as a boat building material. Fiberglass people were more comfortable with because they felt that they didn't have as much maintenance.
Does the steel help you get through the ice that I'm sure you're going to encounter on your way?
Steel is more forgiving than any other material there is. So if you think that you're going to make a mistake, steel is the boat that will give you a second chance.
Is it technically well equipped as well?
Aqua Star is very well equipped for the size of this boat, thanks to our many sponsors who helped us with safety equipment, navigational equipment, communication, as well as sail handling equipment.
What's going to be your most difficult part, do you think, of this journey? I mean, obviously the length of time is going to be difficult, the amount of time spent on a boat, but what about the elements, the environment?
Well, I think what's going to be very difficult is to crew from mutiny, for one thing.
You're talking about your wife, aren't you?
Well, I'm talking about the crew. But the most difficult part for a small boat in a big ocean is the extreme weather conditions and, of course, the ice.
And how do you handle that, then?
Very careful.
Yes.
Yes. We have radar. Our Raytheon radar is very good of picking up ice, which is pack ice that lies very low to the surface of the water. And, of course, we have navigational equipment, satellite navigation equipment, where we can actually pinpoint our position within 300 feet at any time, anywhere in the ocean. It's fantastic.
Do you ever worry about getting lost at sea or capsizing or any of the things that we landlubbers have fears of?
No. After a while, you realize that although the ocean is a dangerous place, but as long as you show respect for the ocean, Mother Nature will forgive you, and it's not as dangerous.
As people think.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
If somebody was to say, what would I rather have? A storm in the mid-Atlantic or a drive on a 401 from Whitby to...
I think I'd still take the drive on the 401. I don't know about you, but what have you learned from the past adventure that you will apply to this one, to your journey to Lenningrad? The most important thing?
Well, what I have learned, the most important thing, I believe, was the people.
But as far as your seaworthiness is concerned and your safety, what do you think that you have learned from the last journey that you will apply to this one? Biggest mistake?
Certain equipment.
Right.
No, there was no mistake. I may sound a bit snobbish, but Aqua Star was very close to the perfect yacht. What we had to add to her for this trip was this Dodger, as you can see, and certain equipment, sail handling equipment. That's just to make it easier and safer for us.
They asked this of Sir Edmund Hillary when he climbed Mount Everest. Why? Why take a sailboat?
Well, it's not because it's there, but...
Well, that was his phrase.
But again, as we said, is to promote the Canadian spirit of adventure and our seafaring heritage.
Do you think that your friends think you're a little bit crazy for doing this?
Oh, not a little bit. We have put on the lunatic fringe, as
Do you ever think that you're a little bit crazy for doing this?
No, not really. If people was to say that to Christopher Columbus, we wouldn't be here today.
You take off next...
Somebody have to do it.
That's right. You take off next Monday, and we wish you the best of luck. We'll be talking to your wife a little bit later about the nitty-gritty of staying together for that length of time. We're on dry land right now. We're sitting in front of the Aqua Star, the boat that is going to take you on your 17-month, 5,000-mile journey. This is Carol Ann Sike, the first mate, and actually Leslie's only mate, the captain's mate, the wife. Tell me about the boat. Does it have some of the comforts of home, if you will?
I think actually it has all the comforts at home, except that you do have to make a few changes in your lifestyle. But on the whole, it's warmer than the average home.
It's a lot smaller than the average home,
That's right, yes. And the galley, which is the kitchen, it has a oven and 2-burner stove, a icebox, 2 sinks, and all the cupboard space that you would want, and she's very comfortable with an aft cabin that
a couple
has
of heads, I understand.
two heads, which are, of course your sinks and toilets,
right.
And a good place to sleep, and a very nice, comfortable place.
This is all well and fine for a week or 2 or 3, the way most of us would sail, but 17 months. What happens when you get cabin fever? Where can you go?
Well, when you're out there on the open sea, I suppose you have nowhere else to go except out on deck. When you pull into port, of course, then the crew can hop off and stretch their legs.
And have a shower.
And have a shower, that's right. And usually the people are wonderful, and they realize that we need these sort of things, and they offer them very generously to us. And that's the great part about sailing, is the people. We just love them.
Marriage means togetherness, of course, but this is stretching it a little bit far. What does it do to a marriage to be together in such close quarters for such a length of time?
Well, actually, I think it makes it more solid. You may have problems the odd time, and that's understandable. All marriages do have problems. But in the end, I think when you look back over the goals that you have reached, then you become much closer, and you feel that you have accomplished something worthwhile.
Pretty obvious question, though, but I'll ask it. Do you like sailing?
No, I don't like sailing.
That's incredible.
I'm not a sailor. I go because I enjoy the adventure, and I go because I know my husband really loves to do these things. And I go as well to meet the people that we meet in each of the ports and settlements that we stop at. And it all is worthwhile in the end.
It's uncomfortable, though. Is it not?
It's uncomfortable only when the seas are bad.
Right.
When the seas are bad, I get sick, and if it wasn't for bad seas, then I don't mind a good sail.
How do you then feel about the next 17 months? Are you looking forward to it?
I certainly am. I can hardly wait. I'm so excited. I'm on pins and needles. And actually, too, it's the build-up towards the expedition itself, because I do a lot of the coordinating towards it. And even that, I take each step as it comes, and the success of putting something like this together is rewarding. And so then after that's over with, I look forward to each leg of the journey, and I take very little steps at a time. So it's the next port we will reach, and the next port, and so forth and so on, and that's the goal that I'm after.
I've got to ask you, what is the inconvenience that you will, or the convenience that you will miss the most when you are confined?
A hot bath. A hot bath. I just love to soak in a bathtub. I think that's probably the most.
Were you looking forward to the reception in Lenningrad?
Oh, I can hardly wait.
And the hot bath.
And I have met a few Russians, and these people, and I think people all over the world, are just fantastic. And I am waiting for a very warm reception from them.
I don't know whether I'd call this your dream vacation either, but it certainly sounds like as a couple it is.
Yes.
Good luck to you.
Thanks very much, Ann.
Let's go back to Pier 4, the Aqua Star. Here's Ann Rohmer.
Boy, you can see forever from this spot. I'm in the crow's nest. Leslie and I hightailed it up here during the commercial break.